Hello, so today our approach is traditional approach. This is the third theory in capital structure. So traditional approach says that it is an intermediate or in between approach. That means till now we have studied two types of approaches. First one is income approach, that is net income approach, and the second one is net income operating approach. What did the net income say? It said that the financial structure will change the cost of capital. That means if you increase or decrease the debt and equity which you are supposed to procure, that is they are your resources. So what will happen? It will change the cost of capital. I have explained this before also. That means if you have taken debt, of 10 lakh rupee and equity of 2 lakh rupee, the interest amount towards 10 lakh is more than the composition of, that means combination of 6 lakhs of debt and 6 lakhs of equity. Here your interest rate will decrease. That means your cost of capital will decrease. So that is what the first approach says. Now coming towards second approach is net income approach, which we have done yesterday, which says that financial structure will not change the cost of capital. Why? Because here overall cost of capital is given, individual cost is not given. They are saying that based on the operating structure, the income is generated, so it is not based upon the financial structure of the company. So these two are completely opposite to each other. Financial structure says that the structure changes, the cost of capital changes. In net income approach, with the structure, change of capital does not occur because it is fixed. Now traditional approach says that change in financial structure may change in cost of capital but in limit. That means what happens here? With a major change in the structure, there will be a minor change in your cost of capital. So for example, you bring 1 crore rupee from somebody, you will not be in a position to pay them 1 crore rupee, 10 lakhs, that is 10% of it, or you can say that you cannot pay them a huge amount at once, right? So you have to take your decisions rationally. Rationally means how much amount will you invest in these two types of sources. Because why I'm saying only two sources? Because according to all these theories, you have only two sources from which you can get your capital. What are they? First is debt and second is equity. Fine. So what is the type of problem? How to identify? Usually it is given in the problem. Still, how to identify this type of the problem is that they will, here what used to happen, they will ask you overall cost of capital will be given. Overall cost of capital is given to you, and value of the firm and capitalization rate for equity is to be found out. Here what will be there? Overall cost of capital and value of the firm is to be calculated with the help of these two problems. This formula is same for you. Value of the firm is equal to value of debt plus value of equity. Overall cost of capital, you can calculate EBIT divided by V. We'll take one example problem so that you understand. So here we have a problem. EBIT is equal to 1,20,000, 10% debenture 3 lakh rupee, current equity capitalization rate is 16%, total value and cost of capital of firm is to be calculated. Okay, to calculate total value of the firm, what do you require? You require the amount of your equity as well as debt. Debt you have. Do you have equity? No. So for that, first we have to calculate what is the share available for equity. Yes or no? Then you can multiply it with the rate and you will get your value of your cost of your equity. See, for example, EBIT is 1,20,000 given. Then next step is to deduct the interest on debentures. So interest on debentures, 10% of 3 lakhs is 30,000 rupees. 90,000 is earnings after tax and it is left out for your, no, earnings available to equity shareholders. It is 90,000 is the share available for equity shareholders. But we don't know how many are the equity shareholders. We just know that at 16%, we are supposed to give them 90,000 rupees, which is their share. But see, the problem is if you don't know how many people to give and how much to give, how can you calculate it? So you remember in the first when we calculate EBIT by EPS formulas, what was the formula to calculate the number of shares that we have given and then we calculated, right? So similarly, 90,000 is given to you 16%. So vice versa, 16% into 90,000 divided by number of equity shareholders. Yes, you remember this formula. To find the percentage, we used to do this formula. Now we are doing the reverse of it. What is the reverse of it? Market value of equity. How will you know? We do not need here the numbers. We only need market value of equity. How will you get it? Earnings are available to equity shareholders 90,000 divided by 16%. This went this side and 60% went to the denominator. Okay, so 90,000 divided by 16% is 5,62,500. So this is the value of equity. Now do we have equity and debentures? Debenture were already given, that is 3 lakhs rupees plus 5,62,500. So what is your value of firm? It is 8,62,500. Now they have asked for two things. Total value we have found out and cost of capital of firm. Okay, so do we have cost of capital? No, we have cost of equity, but we do not know what is the cost of the firm. How to calculate that? EBIT divided by value. How much is your EBIT? 1,20,000. What is value? Just now we have calculated 8,62,500. Your answer is, if you divide 1,20,000 divided by 8,62,500, your answer should be 0.139, that is 13.9%. I hope it is clear. So this is your homework problem. So the same problem we are continuing. Now the firm has decided that it will increase its debenture for 1,50,000. That means before it was 3 lakhs, right? Now it is plus 1,50,000 now. So how much it will become? It will become 4,50,000. And before they were paying 10%, now they want to pay 11% to them. And new cost of equity capitalization is now becoming 17%. EBIT same, 1,20,000. Now how to find out your market value of debt? See, 3 lakhs was before, now it is 1,50,000. So your new value of debentures is 4,50,000. Interest on 11% of 4,50,000 you have to find out. Then what you have to do? EBIT minus your interest rate. This amount you will deduct from your EBIT. You will get your earning available for equity shareholder. Next step is you will calculate market value of equity. This amount divided by equity capitalization rate. What is the equity capitalization rate? It is 17%. So amount that you get here divided by 17% will give you market value of equity. Next is, how do you calculate total value of firm? Total value of firm is equal to market value of equity and market value of debt. So 4,50,000 and the answer that you get over here will be added. If you add both these things, you will get your total value of the firm. Last step is overall cost of capital. Overall cost of capital is nothing but EBIT divided by total value of firm. EBIT is 1,20,000 divided by the last step, you will get the total value of the firm, right? That you have to divide into 100 will give you overall cost of capital.